identified.
Hello people and welcome to another Planetside 2 video. I hope you're doing good. My name is MattiAce and here's another flying video where I'm going to focus mostly on flying in combat, which is quite tricky nowadays. There is plenty of anti-air to go around and lock-on missiles are all over. For a long time I preferred to always fight other aircrafts as I was flying myself, and dogfighting was the biggest part of flying for me, but it's recently become a little bit boring, and I do occasionally have a couple of good dogfights, but it's kind of rare. And one of the things is that it is nowadays so hard to stay alive inside of combat that I decided to make a little bit of maybe a couple of tutorials. I don't know where it goes, but here are a few tips and tricks about it. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while and you're interested in my flying videos, I'm sure you know about the importance of leading. This is something I brought up a lot of times. And even though my dogfighting has been a little bit funky lately because, I've been focusing on infantry gameplay and a little bit more air to ground than usually. So even if you are trying to help your team at the ground advancing and capturing points, you are going to have to defend yourself against other ESFs. And if you are a relatively experienced air-to-air pilot, you should probably be able to learn these things pretty quickly. Now, one of the things that is the most important part of this is how you communicate with your teammates using either the in-game voice over IP or TeamSpeak, Mumble, Ventrilo, some such. And I'm not going to go into that too much in this video, but what I'm going to focus on is dealing with flak such as Mag.size and Skyguards. So the easiest way of using an ESF as air to ground is pretty much what you see me doing here. Basically just hovering and shooting on a big target like a Sunderer. I'm switching between the Rocketpods and the Rotary. And if you do this correctly, you don't have to worry about losing any damage output while reloading. Now when you go against Skyguards and anti-air maxes, what you saw me doing here is exactly what you should not be doing. You would just be a sitting duck for them. They would shoot you down in a matter of seconds. What you need to be able to do is to keep a momentum while you're firing on your target. And this is a lot harder to do, and you will probably not be very successful using your nosegun that much. I mean, it does help from time to time, but mainly when I use the nosegun for air to ground, I have to stand still and hover for a second or two, and this is too risky in what I'm going to show you here. So I'm starting with some soft targets, and I don't want to stop and hover because I would take too much fire, probably be one shot by a rocket or a tank. Get behind cover while I'm reloading and while I'm checking out the surroundings. No air to worry about, so I go back to the engagement. And just because I said that, a Reaver shows up. I did a lot of damage to get the upper hand, and because of that I think he tries to escape, which is something that is one of the most dangerous things to do as an ESF pilot. If you want to escape like this, you may want to try to escape into the security of friendly anti-air. One of the things when you spot enemy targets on the ground like this is that if you have your afterburner saved up, you will be able to escape quickly. I didn't do that here, and it puts me in a really risky situation, and here I'm taking even more risks. But I was able to keep a momentum while firing on those people on the landing pad, because had I not done that, I'm pretty sure I would have been shot down by anti-air. So now, if you have trouble firing on your targets on the ground while you are moving, dodging enemy fire, or just keeping a momentum, this is something you should be training in the VR training room. I'm gonna show you a couple of things that is well worth its time. And practicing air to ground is actually something that is very easy to do by yourself. And for air to air, you probably need someone with you. And if you are interested in that, there will be a link in the description. What you see me doing here is I'm trying to mimic the situation where I was shooting on those infantry there, but I'm using this Sunderer as my target. What I want to focus on here is that how as you are approaching the target, as you have fired about half your clip, you can use your afterburner to accelerate and use that momentum to quickly get behind cover. Because if you do this in a situation where there's a lot of activity, most likely will you be taking a lot of anti-air fire in that kind of a situation. What you saw happening after that was how a couple of infantry players were on the landing pad. They jumped over there, and I did something similar to this. It's another way of keeping the momentum while you're firing upon your target. And remember, the most important thing here is the momentum in itself, not to be able to put every rocket perfectly on your opponent. So try to do this a couple of times. Try to keep strafing back and forward as you use the rocket pods. And remember that the reason why we're doing this is because our enemies are most likely going to shoot back. And as an ESF pilot, you're not going to have all that many hit points. Now, a lot of people are also very interested in using the nosegun to pick off infantry targets. And if you want to see a video of that, I have a Scythe video where I got like a 60+ kill streak using only the default gun. Now, of course, this is a lot easier to do with a Hailstorm, but if you're interested in this video, the link will be in the description.
Lightning spotted. The enemy has heavy armor in the area.
Mr.
Hostile
Aziel?
heavy tank spotted.
Mr. Aziel?
Hostile heavy
Oh, no.
tank spotted.
The other one, MattiAce, is more
Enemy
damage.
heavy tank identified.
I got so usually on that, but there's a lot of AA here.
Yeah. Yeah, keep in motion. Oh shit. So yeah, there was a little bit of an example of how it can sound in TeamSpeak as we are prioritizing targets and trying to pick them off together. So we are trying to defend Vanu Archives from a massive NC attack, and there's a little bit of everything going on here. Mostly I'm trying to avoid anti-air, but there is plenty of air and anything else going on at the moment. And even though we have Vanu Archives, there is no way I can resupply there.
They're putting in pretty big effort though.
Mati, you're just shooting from the sky.
ID enemy
If you
lightning.
guys see them, like directly south where the launch pad is towards Runner Archives, there's a lot of tanks.
Yeah, I got...
Yeah, you guys have already found them.
Oh, door bursters! No!
Enemy heavy tank
Oh, you guys are
identified.
taking fire from Snake Ravine.
Not just Snake Ravine. We could go to the VS side of things. There's a Libby to the north.
You don't enjoy this fight?
I don't know. The last 2 times I came in range, I got chewed out and almost died by dual bursters, so not necessarily. I don't know how you avoid those guys, but...
Well, that's the thing. That's the trick.
Oh, there's Tune 2 in Libby. That's
It's
killing.
really...
Magic trick.
It is really hard, but... So now, in the next situation, you're gonna see there is a Skyguard, or I think maybe 2, that I'm going to engage, and the only way I can do this is by being able to keep a momentum while I'm firing upon them. I'm using the vertical thrust from hover stability, and it gives me a little bit of a momentum, but it's not enough, so I have to kind of boost away from time to time, like this, while reloading. And I'm not using that reloading trick where I fire consistently, switching between the rocket pods and the rotary, because that just wouldn't work here. I would be shot down.
Vanu's nicking.
Here is one of the most clear examples where you can see how vertical thrust works for me. Notice how all the fire from the Skyguard is actually hitting below me. That's because I am holding down space to get some upwards thrust, and that way I'm actually able to dodge the bullets or the fire from the Skyguard here. This is the reason why I mainly choose the hover stability to begin with. When I choose it, I had hopes that the vertical thrust would be a bit stronger and react faster than it did, but I don't have enough certs to play around with the other upgrades, so I'm sticking with hover stability anyway. So here is a completely different situation where I'm not really in combat the same way as I was before, but we are instead being warp gate locked here, and there is a great number of anti-air maxes kind of camping one of the ridges close to our warp gate here. They were able to take out quite a number of aircrafts that were kind of underestimating them and tried to take them out just going one by one. That doesn't really work. And me myself, I do not have enough firepower with just one mosquito to take them out. I do pick off one here and one there, but that doesn't do any good because they'll just revive the max whoever I get, and then they repair them up to full health. But had Mosquitoed and some other guys been online here, we would have probably been able to deal with this. But yeah, that's the thing. They are working together in a much bigger group of people than the three of us. But the approach here will be basically the same, as I'm using the vertical thrust to give myself some strafing momentum. And I think that most people that are using anti-air, they're not used to leading this way, and this is enough to stay away from most of the fire. But I do speed up the moment I am reloading to just to make sure that I'm a little bit of a harder target. I'm also spamming Q consistently here because I want to be able to spot the maxes, and I want to be able to fire upon them from as far away as possible. But for that I still need to see them. Why can't I spot
We've
them?
got a hostile
There they
max in the area.
Yeah, because there's so many of them bunched together, you don't really see them properly.
Holy
It's really annoying.
shit. Yeah.
And there are many maxes. There's something like 6 anti-air maxes.
Mm-hmm. I just repaired my aircraft, which was burning right under
We've
the
got a
cliff
hostile
level
max in
1.
the area. We've got a hostile max in the area.
It's a good thing
Enemy
they're not
max.
looking down.
We've got a hostile max in the area.
I think what would...
I can understand how a lot of people would prefer to try to sneak up behind them or fly low behind below the ridges and surprise them. But I was unable to find any of those gaps because they are controlling too much of the territory here. And funny as it is when we are low populated, is that Vanu and NC are actually fighting each other at the bases very close to our warp gate. And that's the thing about Planetside 2, is that many times population is the one and only deciding factor in what the map looks like. So anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video. Please let me know what you think, and please stay tuned for more content. I didn't really plan on making a semi-tutorial of this footage until I saw it and looked back at it. But if this is something that you guys like, then I will come out with more similar stuff. So yeah, that will be all, people, and bye for now.